A lot of people don't do the work because they don't believe the outcome.
The biggest problem for me, for you, for Brendon Burchard, for everybody is
don't take the risk of quitting your current job to follow your passion. What if the passion stuff doesn't work? Who will pay the bills? Your passion?
rise and shine.
It's Entspresso time.
Hey, Believe Nation. I am not a morning person. I'm not, it's true. But when you start your day with a powerful routine that inspires you, like watching one of these videos, it will change your life. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee, know that I believe in you, and get ready for a shot of Entspresso from Brendon Burchard.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Passion plus growth plus contribution equals personal satisfaction.
Yeah. It's like those all coming together, a lot of people have never experienced. And it's hard for you and I to say that as personal development guys, but it's true. There's a lot of people who've never had those three completely line up, so they're not satisfied even with their job or their career or their life, because the passion isn't there. Even if the passion's there, they don't feel like they're growing. But everybody who I talk to, do you remember that first personal development book you read? Do you remember that first time you wrote tons of notes about what you wanted your life to be about? Do you remember that first time you watched a movie that inspired you to go change? There was fire there because that learning, it opened up your mind to a new level of existence for you. And as soon as you saw it, you were like, ooh, ambition hit your heart. And now if you can match it with contribution and you can see how that passion or that fire or that learning or that growth all aligns to some type of impact, now you're getting me fired up because now I can see the outcome of all the work. A lot of people don't do the work because they don't believe the outcome.
That's interesting.
You know, if psychologists talk about the power of expectancy. When we talk about motivation, there's only two things that spark motivation. One is ambition, and that is I want more of, or I want a greater depth of, right? I want a greater depth of connection with my lady, that's ambition. Or I want a better meditative practice, that's ambition, right? I want to be better at my job, that's ambition. So it starts with ambition. But ambition, if it's not coupled with what they call expectancy in psychology, you're screwed. Expectancy says, I believe that I can figure that out. I believe that I can achieve that. I believe that that is possible for me. Because if we don't believe it's possible for me, you can show them all the results from 1,000 people, right? How many people say, I want to get in great shape? You know, Tom, I'm gonna do ketosis. I'm doing the ketosis thing, man. And they hop on your Instagram and they see the cuts, they see the changes, they see the transformations, but they don't believe it's possible for them. So they don't try. Expectancy is their problem. You got to bust through the beliefs to get them to understand that it is possible for them, not for other people, for them. And if you can open that gate for somebody, and often that's only achieved through learning, then you get somebody who starts really moving ahead forward. I mean, really moving ahead. Like the second they go, wait, that's possible for me, they'll try 50 stupid things, right? They'll try anything. But if they don't believe it's possible for them, they'll just quit.
The world's biggest problem is a lack of belief. The biggest problem for me, for you, for Brendon Burchard, for everybody is a lack of belief. You believe in yourself to the extent of what you've done, that you can do it again, but you don't believe in the next step. You don't believe that you can go from here to here. This is why I think everybody has what I call Michael Jordan level talent at something. Like you're a genius. You are the best in the world at something. And it's not what you went to school for. It's not what your parents taught you. It's not what the people around you are doing. It's probably something very, very, very different. And unlike your parents or grandparents, it's actually possible now. Because of technology, because of the internet, it's actually possible for you to go off and be this Michael Jordan level genius at something. You don't need to have the resources, you don't need to have the education, you don't need to have the connection, because it's all of the walls have been broken down and it's only getting easier. But it's still the lack of belief in the ability to do the thing. People say, well, I think cancer is the world's biggest problem. Great, I think cancer should have been solved by now. The woman who would have solved cancer is a manager at an accounting firm doing work that she hates. Because one, she never believed in herself enough to go down the route to become a doctor or researcher. And two, even if she started, she didn't believe in herself enough that she could be the genius at it, the Michael Jordan level genius, best in the world or something. And this is what happens. We settle, we get stuck, we get complacent, we find all these reasons and excuses why we can't do it. It's just fear and lack of belief. And every time you break through, every major breakthrough that I've had in my life has come on the other side of me believing in myself more that I could go off and do that thing. So even right now, I'm working on a business with Brendon. Brendon invited me to his place, I guess a year ago now, in Puerto Rico, his home. And we've been in touch and communicating. And a month ago or 2 months ago, he wanted to do a partnership together. He's like, Brendon Burchard wants to partner with me on a company. This is great. Let's go. I wouldn't have believed that was possible, right? If I look at me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like there's no way that's going to happen. And yet here it is happening. So how do you go and start improving your belief? This is the ongoing question. This is the problem that I'm trying to solve on a daily basis. How do you increase your own or somebody else's belief? And I don't have all the answers, but I've got two that I think I try to apply to my life, and I think you can apply to yours. So the first one, how do we get more belief? The first one starts with being around the people who give you that belief. This is why I have my channel. This is why I make the Entspresso videos. It's why I do this every day, is because I am trying to give that to you and I'm trying to get it to myself. The more I hang around Brendon Burchard and Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk and these people, the more I start to shift, the more I start to see, ooh, this is possible. When I look at someone like Elon Musk and the big ambitions he has, every time I think I'm thinking big, I realize, man, I'm thinking small. This is nothing compared to what's possible. I look at Les Brown, who I think is the greatest speaker of all time, and I say, wow, that's possible. I could do that, right? That this is what humans can achieve. And so the more that you are staying in your cocoon and only hanging around the same 5 to 10 people, if those people are not more ambitious than you, then you're gonna stay stuck. You're gonna feel good about yourself because you're pushing everybody and you're optimistic and you feel good relative to where they're at, but you won't be growing. You are probably the most ambitious person that you know. You're the most positive, most uplifting, most energetic, most ambitious person of any of the people that you hang out with. And that's great and fulfilling, and you can serve them and help them, but it limits your own growth. You stay stuck or you stay super slow growing, and so you need to inject people who have a greater belief system than you into your life to make you feel like you can grow and continue to get better. And that could be somebody who's actually in your life. Quick, side note, if there's anybody in your life at all who you've met once, twice, 4 times, right? It doesn't have to be your family. Somebody that you've hung out with and met that made you feel better about yourself when you left them, holy cow, hang on to that person. I love what I say, collect good people. Hang on to those people. Find a way to do a business with them. Find a way to spend time with them. Find a way to hang out with them. When Brendon Burchard reaching out to me to do this business together, right? Like, he's finding ways to hang out with what he thinks is good people. So, that's a tremendous honor on my part. So if you have anybody like that, and again, it's probably not the closest people to you. You have to go on the fringe of people you have spent some time with. Try to spend more time with them. Find the reason to do it. Whether it's starting the business together or whether it's just having a monthly coffee together just to connect again, do it. If you don't have anybody like that in your life, don't stress. That's why there's videos. That's why there's books. That's why there's podcasts. If you actually started your day with an Entspresso video every day, your life will start to shift. You won't notice it tomorrow or the next day, but a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, you start to see, I'm thinking bigger now. I'm more bold. I'm more confident. I want to do bigger things with my life. Well, why is that? It's because you're hanging around people who are doing bigger things with their life, even virtually. So I can learn a lot from Brendon, who I've met and now doing a partnership with, but also from Oprah Winfrey and Elon Musk and all these people. The more I'm around them, the more they pull me to want to think bigger. So that has to be part of your daily routine, and ideally in the morning, because if you wake up and you do the thing that gets you bold, powerful, inspired, confident, it changes your whole day. If you wait till you're about to go to bed, you might have a hard time sleeping. So better to put it as part of your morning routine every single day. So that's how you can start to inject more belief in yourself. Be around the people who have a greater belief system than you. The second way to do it is to start teaching yourself that you do scary things. that when you get an idea for something, you do it, you take action, you prove to yourself that you can do it. You may not get the results that you're looking for yet. It may not work out yet. If you're making a YouTube video, you're probably gonna suck the first time out. Awesome. It doesn't mean you suck as a person. You actually are great as a human because you did the scary, difficult thing. Anytime you have an idea for something and your head tells you that you can't do it, and then you do it, you show up, whether you win or not, the fact that you showed up, you're boosting your self-confidence a little bit more. You're boosting your self-belief a little bit more. So there's the inspiration, there's the watching the videos and listening to the podcasts and reading the books. That's the inspiration. That gives you the courage to then go do something, right? They're paired together. You get the inspiration, but now you gotta do something. You gotta take some kind of action. Because just watching the video, just going to a seminar, just reading the book doesn't get you anywhere. It just helps you realize that you've got more potential, but you never reach the potential without you doing the work. I'm not gonna come in and do the work for you. Brendon's not coming in and doing the work for you. Elon and Oprah, they're not coming into your business and doing the work for you. You're gonna do the work for you, but you gotta get up and do the work for you, right? So doing the thing every morning that gets you feeling bold, powerful, confident, inspired, motivated, ready to go change, right? Ready to, like, today matters. I'm gonna go do something meaningful today. And then pairing that with immediate action. What is the thing that you need to do today that you're afraid to do, the call you need to make, the video you need to record, the presentation you need to put out there, the book you need to release? Like, what is the thing that you've consistently told yourself that you can't do it? You've got really logical, valid reasons, right? But really, you're just afraid that you can't do it, and then you start taking some kind of action on it. You start taking some kind of momentum on it. If you do those two things consistently, you will shift your belief forward. And it's coming from a guy who had very little self-belief, who was an average student, B.C. student, who I'm an introvert, I'm scared to be on stage and in front of the camera, who now I'm starting to realize a whole lot of my goals because I am doing and living what I'm preaching or suggesting that you look at. That every day for over a decade, I've put something into my head from one of my heroes who push and pull me forward. And then I use that inspiration to then go do something, to make a video, to get on stage, to make that call. And it's had a dramatic increase in the happiness and quality of my life. So I don't have all the answers for how to shift belief. And if you've got some more, I'd love to hear them below, because it's what I believe the world's biggest problem and my mission for the rest of my life, to try to unlock as many people as I can before I go. But the two things that have definitely helped me are, one, be around the people who have that belief system that you want, and then two, take the scary action that you've been putting off, that you're afraid to show yourself that you can. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch a video and you get motivated, the science says you have a 35% chance of following through. That's not enough! But when you write down what time, what place, and how you're going to actually take action on it, you jump to 91% chance of following through. And when you have public accountability and you commit to other people that you're gonna do it, it jumps to 95% that you will follow through. So I want that for you, Believe Nation. I wanna know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
Listen, humans are built to serve. Some people are built to serve the world, others want to serve the 25 people closest to them. But in either case, humans are built to serve. So if you're not happy right now, it's because you're not serving enough. You got to pick up this book because it's so inspiring to remind you that we're all here to contribute, to make a difference, to make an impact, and this is your field guide for that.
If your job pays you well, is it okay to overlook the satisfaction you get from it? Is it okay to forget your passion and continue slogging in a job that you don't like? Here's my answer. Assuming that you spend on an average about 8 hours a day at work and work a 5 days week, that would mean spending 40 hours of your week at work. Now, assuming that you get 2 weeks of holiday every year, that would mean spending 2,000 hours of your year at work. Now, does that sound a lot? Well, let's keep going. Assuming that you spend 45 years of your life working, that would mean spending a daunting 90,000 precious hours of your life at work, which is approximately 10 years of your life. And if you're not happy with your work, guess what? You end up spending 8 hours of your day, 40 hours of your week, 2,000 hours of your year, 90,000 hours of your life in misery. Not sure if that's a great deal. I know what you're thinking. Following your passion doesn't pay the bills. Your calling doesn't clear the loans and mortgages. After all, those who slog it out are the ones who have better cars, better houses, better holidays, a better life. A better life? Oh well, debatable, isn't it? I completely understand and agree that you can't quit your current job because you have real needs in the real world. But at the same time, I'm also asking you whether it's fair to spend 10 years of your life in pain. I know that those of you who are watching this video are shouting, "Enough of math, sir. Please tell us what's the way out." Here's my proposal. Don't take the risk of quitting your current job to follow your passion. What if the passion stuff doesn't work? Who will pay the bills? Your passion? But at the same time, don't neglect your passion and be a nervous wreck at work. Try and find the right balance. Step 1. If not everything, identify some part of your current work that you may possibly develop some liking for. That will make your 40 hours a week a little less painful than now. No one has a perfect job, exactly like no one has a perfect partner in marriage. But when you identify those aspects of your spouse that you love and connect to that, the elements that you don't necessarily like in your spouse become a little easy to handle. Deal with your job the way you deal with your spouse. Focus on and highlight the positives and work through the negatives. Step 2. Start pursuing your passion side by side. Maybe it's very small in the beginning. Maybe it can be done only over the weekend. But when you do what you love, not only will you find deep satisfaction, but also the ability to handle what you have to do at work through the week. And you know what? Maybe one day your passion will become your profession, giving you fulfillment and the money needed to live in the real world.
If you want another awesome Brendon Burchard video, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Most people don't have a calendar.
Achievers schedule their success.
What is batching? To explain it in simplest terms, we can talk about laundry.